My name is Adam Hosselmeyer. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. When I first started off, I just started taking pictures like everybody else and would just put a lens on and just started snapping pictures. And I soon realized that some of the pictures I wasn't getting what I wanted out of them. We'll review some of the pictures I took early on and what I may have done to make them better. So if we look at some of the pictures, we had a picture of my daughter and my wife. We were at a restaurant. Again, I just had my camera on auto, and you can see the windows in the background are totally blowing out the pictures, and the faces are way underexposed because of that. And I just had the camera on auto because I didn't have a chance to, properly compose the picture. We have my daughter and her friend standing between the two trees, which would have been a great picture if I'd had my Octobox at that time. And it still is a good picture, but again, the background is overexposed. Their faces are properly exposed. There's no shadows on their face, which is good, but the background is overexposed. When you're viewing the picture, you kind of look past the faces into the background because that's it's just so bright that it's just overpowering the picture, and I don't like that. My daughter and her friend at a local park here in Stillwater. This was around Christmas time. Because of the daytime sun, there's shadows casting on their faces, and you really couldn't get a good look at their faces in this photo. Although I love the background. The background, I mean, if I'd had my Octobox in, it would have been a great picture, but it just didn't turn out too good because of the shadows on the face, because of the timing of the day. We have two pictures in the cotton field. Again, this is more of a shadow problems I was having. I just now have them turn right into the sun. But even then, they would have had shadows on their eyes, even if I'd had them turn right, because it was just a high noon sun. If I had my Octobox with me or a flash, another light source, wash out the shadows in their face, it would have been a great picture. I could have, like I say, at this time I didn't have my Octobox, so it wasn't possible. I just did the best of what I had. Probably could have done better, but still learning. This other picture is of Sally and her friend. We were at a farm. We did a farm photo shoot. And this is just one of my favorite shots from that photo shoot. It really wasn't, there's nothing wrong with the picture at all. It's like one of my favorite ones. We have a picture of Sydney and her friend right before the junior high dance. And again, that's what I was saying is the background is overblown. Your attention is drawn to the background because it's so overexposed. You don't see it, and their faces, this all kind of blends together because of just how the light was. And then we have a picture of Sydney and Sally, kind of the same thing as the picture before. Again, these pictures are just, they're good pictures. They're just not what I was wanting. I wanted to up my game a little bit on the photography side. So I decided to get the Octobox. The first time I took it out, I'm not going to show you in those pictures. Some of them turned out really good. Just learning the process of how to take the pictures and how to operate the flash, which is pretty simple, really. You just get your camera and you expose for the background. You want to underexpose the background. Then you get your flash with your remote trigger. I use the Godox flash and the Godox trigger. And you set your diffuser up and you put your Godox light or your speed light in there with the high speed sync. And you also have your trigger that's on your camera that you can control the power of the flash. And one thing I didn't know before I started doing these photographs is that you have to set it to manual, not TTL. TTL is more of an automatic mode for your flash. You want to set your flash to manual. And then you also want to set it to the slave for your trigger. That way you can control the power of your flash with your trigger on your camera. You underexpose the background, and then you get your subject out there, set the power of the flash to approximately where you think it would be to produce a good picture. Then you just have to take test shots, adjusting the power of the flash up and down until you get the results that you desire. And it's all just a pretty simple process, really, and it just produces some great pictures. Here are just some of the pictures that I took on the recent photo shoot of my daughters, and I think the photos turned out really well. The first one is of my daughter Sally. She just standing on a wooden rail with the background. Again, I underexposed that, had the flash right on her. And then you can see what I'm saying is your focus is directed solely at her. So because the background is underexposed, you're not really paying attention to that. But when you look at these photos, you just see the subject of the photograph, and you're not really, and the background just kind of blends in. So that's what I really like about this. 2 more of my daughter Sydney. Again, same thing, just underexposed the background. Got the flash right on her where I thought that it was appropriate. And the pictures, I think, turned out great. These are the pictures we took outside. I took one of Sally sitting in this white chair. Again, I just think that picture I just love the way they come out. We took a few inside on this chalkboard. We have a chalkboard wall in our house. These are some of my favorite pictures that we took over the whole thing. The 2 of my daughter Sydney. I can hardly ever get her to pose for pictures or come out and participate in a photo shoot. So she finally let me take a few pictures of her, and I was really happy about that. And ironically enough, these 2 pictures are my favorite. The one of her and then the close-up of her. I put these into Lightroom. I just push auto, and whatever comes out, comes out. If I don't like what it is after I push auto, I do adjust after that. But I don't do a lot of photo editing because frankly, I don't know how quite yet, and I usually mess them up in the end. But I just put auto and Lightroom and develop them, and that's how they came out, looking really good. And I like how the light hits her face and then fades off into the side. I just think these are just great photos of my daughter Sydney, and then also of my daughter Sally. Took a few of her. Again, with the Octabox, you can control the light and exactly how it hits their face. If you want to hit it directly onto their face, you can do that. You can put it to the side and have it shine kind of across their face like this, and it creates a shadow on one side of the face and just creates a nice look on the photos. I got one of my dog, which I just threw in. You always got to throw in a picture of your dog if you have one. That's Jasmine, for everybody who wants to know. She's at Charcoal Lab and totally spoiled. If you want to take your photo, if you're kind of like me and you're just learning how to take good photos, or you're interested in photography, but really have just started, I suggest getting a light diffuser and a flash. And it doesn't have to be the Westcott Octabox. It can be whatever you want. They sell several of them, but I sure do suggest getting one and playing around with it, because it takes your photography to the next level, if you ask me, especially if you're doing portraits of your daughters or your wife or whoever. It really takes your portraits to the next level and gives them a really good look. Thanks for watching.